everybody to join. Okay, let's start. So I just added all the basic details, like the basic volume for the nose, and now switch to move brush, or if you just simply click, if you have difficulty, initially you can use and switch between brushes also, that is also totally acceptable. Just to make your process faster, you can like use BMV like this, you can use and change it. So, and make sure the symmetry is on because nose is symmetrical. I adjust the volume. Right now you can see it's way too broad and way too soft. So what I'll do now, I have to first I'll define the tip of the nose and nostril. So for that I will be using a brush named Dam Standard, DDS, or you can go here and you can see Dam Standard. That brush name is Dam Standard. And you can see I have switched off my like perspective, reduce the brush size, bracket, increase or decrease the brush size, same like Photoshop, nostrils. Create this hole. You can see it's all stretched out. Just to fix that, like I can see my dynamic shift enabled. So what I can do to re-dynamic shift, control left mouse button and drag on empty space. It will re-dynamic the model once again automatically. So undo, shift F. You can see it's all stretched. Control drag outside. It re-dynamics the entire model. So while blocking out, make sure you use Dynamesh. Once you're done with it, you can switch to ZRemesh. That is something I'll explain later. I could do this. Add volume and reduce DCV, clay buildup. I'll add nose tip. We have basically two set of muscles. So add that muscle. And to invert any brush, like right now it's adding. If I want to subtract, either I can switch to add to sub, Z add, Z sub. Add to sub, I can do sub and it will start subtracting the geometry. And okay, then shift, smooth it, or I can like keep this add and press Alt and minus. Alt to if you, whenever you press Alt, it will that brush will invert. You can do that. Add volume. What happened to F side? He's joining again and again. It's like third, fourth time he's joining. Dynamic once again. So now you can just modify things DDS dam standard, enhance the shape. Then it looks way too rounded. So what I can do, if I want to modify this, BMV move brush, I can move it. Because nostrils are way too prominent and visible, so I can reduce that section to make it a bit narrow. I want. Totally up to me what kind of nose I'm making. Um, Now I'll push to standard brush, add slightly volume, and the sides become flat. I'll add slightly volume here as well. Move brush, reduce the brush size, and I'm using the pen tablet and I'm controlling entire pressure with the help of pen tablet only. But if suppose you are facing difficulty, you can reduce this intensity. This is like same like Photoshop. You have opacity and you have in flow and all. Same like Photoshop, you can reduce this, or you can press space bar. From here, you can change the brush size and focal shift and your intensity. You can change this from here also. You can modify shape and nose can be hundreds of types. So pick a reference and try to follow that and create that shape. Create that shape, and then you can move, make it narrow, slightly back. So try to control this move brush. This is something we are going to use most of the time. Move, clay buildup, and smooth brush. So try to control it nicely. BCB, sorry, BCB. And it's defining some shape. It's making it a bit prominent. So we will switch to some other part as well. To create eyes, I prefer to create the cavity first, eye socket, and then I create the basic structure. Forehead, your temporal bone, you add this, and this goes way inside. I'm just like getting the basic structure on a surface, just to for me, for just to see, okay, everything looks fine. Once I feel okay, this is like more than enough. Like I just need to have a basic structure, which is like more than enough for that. Nose. It should look like a nose. That's the only thing. Nose. So now after nose, we'll create something else. So I can move to side and create it, but symmetry. So I'm working on X symmetry. So what I have to do is I'll switch. I'll switch off my X symmetry, rotate my model, press shift, it will snap to every 10 to 5 degree, 90 degree. So I'll stay in front pose only, and I can use my symmetry very easily. And this gizmo to enter W for rotate, all these things. This is gizmo you have. Just press Q to exit your gizmo mode, or you can switch on your thing. Gizmo, or like this is called Pro. You can like switch on your gizmo with this, or you can switch back to your edit mode with the help of Q. Okay, now let's create our ear. So to create ear from a flame, the ear is literally extruded from the our body, and it have a thickness to it, and it's not attached, like completely attached to the our head, and so that depth you have to create. So for what I'll do, I'll press Control. Whenever you press Control with any brush, it switch to mask pen. You can see whenever you press it auto control, that brush changes to mask pen automatically. Why I said joining from three different systems? I don't know. Like there's three of us. Yeah. Yes, yes, it's totally possible. You can use subtract brush and create nostril. Nostril is just a hole, right? So you either use BAM standard or subtract anything, you just create the shape. You can use any brush. You have to create that hole, that hollowness. That's it. So press Control and mask. I'll create a mask. And if you press Alt, you can minus the mask. And pressing Control only, you can add mask and extend it. So you just created a mask. Mask is ready. So I want to push it outside and create the ear. There are two techniques. Either I can just simply Control, click outside, flip the mask with W, move it outside, and then sorry, one second, and Alt, move the pivot point this corner and rotate it to get that depth. And then with a DAM standard, I can create this volume. Either I can do this or mask, go to subtool, extract, extract. Click on extract, it will extract this mask. It will extract this mask as a separate model. You have to accept it to get that model. So right now, the thickness, as you can see, is quite low. If you want to increase it, you can increase the thickness. It's 0.02, 0.1, and making 0.1 extract. So I'll get a nice thick model. So you can switch a double or all this thing, except this model. By default, it will extract and create a separate subtool. Subtools are kind of separate layers like you have in Photoshop, but it's not exactly layer. It's a entirely separate model there. So you can have this here in a separate model. So Control just to get remove this mask. Control drag outside. Sorry, Control drag outside. Deselect that mask Go back to the actual model, click on that, deselect that, make sure no masking is there. Now you have it's clear. Now by default, this pivot point will be in the center. Click on this, it will like this is basically pivot point, recenter. It automatically center your pivot point to that particular mesh. Rotate. You can push it slightly inside. You can make it slightly thick, thin, whatever you want. Want to rotate, place it however you want. So you can see now you have this thickness, that backside of the ear, and plus the skull part. But these two are two separate geometry, and you cannot combine it like this. So what you have to do is you have to merge these two. Go to under split. There's an option for merge. Just click on merge down. It will merge with the below layer, below subfield automatically. Merge. Okay. Shift S. You can see now these two are part of same subfield, but still they have separate polygroup. So, but I need to combine by default. This view was Dynamesh. So to use Dynamesh, if you Dynamesh on any two subtools together, combined together, it will like merge those two models irrespective of their shape. There won't be any holes. It will fill all the holes, and it will combine those two geometry. Like you have this option in Boolean, combine Boolean, right? You can it will work like that exactly. For that, control drag outside. You can see it merge with that base model automatically. Now I have to curve the basic shape. B, C, B. Clay builder or click here. You have your clay builder brush here. So create this. I'll start adding my all the details for ear. So make it a bit smooth, soft edges. The ear is not like this. We'll add your lobe. So just remove that rectangular thickness and increase this volume. She, I let her in, like she is maybe we got disconnected once again. So I added the volume first, then I'll press Alt and add minus volume. Minus volume. Then I'm using sub and adding that ear hole. Sorry. Then still you can see it's not that crisp and clean. So make it very crisp and clean because all the shapes are very defined and clean. So what I'll do, I'll go to dam standard, and define line and define the shape B, C, D. Then, but right now you can see from back side it's almost flat. So what I'll do, I have to adjust the volume of from back side. So what I have to do, I have to isolate this section. So press Control Shift together. You can see if I press Control and Shift together, this button will change to select rectangle, and that masking will convert to green color. Now you can see you can isolate that particular section. BCB I have already pressed. So see, now I'm using this, but it's affecting my front side also. So what I'll do is that for so that it should not affect my front side, I switch on back face curling. So there's a brush option. Under brush, we have auto masking. Under that, we have back face mask. So right now, and if I work on this or create anything now, it won't affect my back side, other side of the module. Okay? It will be like this, please, always. And to get rid of this isolation mode, Control Shift click outside. We got this volume also, but still it's shape. Like ears can be really complex. They are like tons of different forms of shapes and sizes of ear. So make sure have a nice reference and follow that and create it. BNB, sorry, my bad. BNB. Add some volume. From side also, it's not circular or flat in shape. There are lots of detail and variation. So make sure add those variations from all the sides and all the angles. The basic structure of here is almost ready. If you want to smooth it, you can smooth it. If you want to define it even further, you can define it, you can add more polygons, Control D to smooth it, BDS, damp standard, and add, define all the edges very nicely. So I can add more detail and create all these shapes. If you want to make it like if people they have the corners a bit thinner, so I can make it thin if I want. So for that I can use standard brush B, or maybe I can use play builder itself and use it in minus subtraction and make it thin. I can do that as well. So this is something depending upon our reference, what kind of reference we have. So you can make it thin, you can make it thick, you can make it long. Anyway, that's totally up to you. So now after here, let's rotate the thing again 90 degrees. We can move this and X symmetry. Here we have created without symmetry, nose with symmetry, and now we'll start with our eye. So eye and lips are the most complex, and it looks quite easy, but it's kind of difficult to get the shape correct. So make sure follow the exact process and have some reference in front of you. Or that book I recommended yesterday, Anatomy for Sculptors. Refer that book. That is something that particular book give you nice insight like about the shape, form, or basic structure of the eyes, nose, ears, everything. That's amazing book. Follow that. So eye. So eye is again something. Okay, let's start with lips first. So lips is symmetrical. Eye is not symmetrical. So let's do lips first. So lips are basically like what we can do. BDS. We can simply like add line and create lips. But this is not the right way to do it because lips are not flat at all. Because we need to, one thing we need to keep in mind. First, let me show the masking and extrusion once more. Okay. So if you want to mask and extrude, if suppose you want to, okay, let's see, mask. I can switch to any mode. Let's see, butterfly. You can create a mask and then go to subtool. Then you have extract, and then you can select the thickness and extract it. Until now, unless you accept it, it won't be, it won't stay there. Extract, whenever you feel, okay, this thickness is too much, reduce it 0.05, extract once again. Once you're happy with it, you can accept it. Like this, you can extract, and it will be a separate subtool altogether. This is what you can do. That's clear, I believe. Hmm? So, we're going to create lips. Lips are symmetrical. So while creating lips, one thing we have to keep in mind, there's a denture. We have this teeth, gums, and all those things. Denture part is there, and it's quite curved. Like it's kind of a elongated, like oval shaped curve, oval shaped shape. So make sure keep that thing in mind. Denture, that oval shape should be there no matter what. It's be it it's an animal, it's a creature, it's a human, humanoid, whatever it is. If there is a denture, the shape will be like that. So D, C, B, clay build up. I'll add too high, shift D, reduce the polygon. I'll add, create an oval shape and smooth it. I'm smoothing it. It's quite nice pressure. Then from all the angles, let's check it. B and B. You can understand there is a denture inside. So make it like based on that, it should be like decently curved. Then you have this lips, and from side also, take it from all the angles, all the sides, make it nice, decent curve. So 3D is something you have to check it from whenever you're creating anything, sculpting, especially whenever you're sculpting anything, make sure it's you check it from all the angles and then do it. So once you're like happy with the curve, BDS dam standard, select the dam standard, this BDS, this thing, and what you can do is you can define the, my bad, center line first, corners are slightly the depth like this. Then you can, it is a control, select a lasso tool, mark it out, and control click invert it. B, C, B. Okay. We define the basic shape of lips. BDS also can do. I can just simply minus, like alt, like I'm using add damn standard. BCD. Upper lips always go inside, and it's not a separate surface. It's almost sitting on that this surface only. The volume is exactly the same. The center, depth. So make sure this thing goes inside B, sorry, my bad, BDS, and define, make it bit prominent. So we have 8 more minutes, and this is like coming outside. PMV, move brush. I can push it inside. Initially, make it flat, push it inside. Then we'll add all the volume one by one. Then control, flip your mask. You can see I'm keeping the mask. I'm not removing my mask so that I can like keep this line very clean. That center lips, the partition, I can keep it very clean and sharp. BDS, damn standard. Alt, like no, without alt. I'll create the basic structure, and it starts little bit from inside the depth. Then press alt, create the outer edge, give it slightly thickness, slight thickness, blend it. So phone battery is also done. So DCB clay builder. So check it from the side. This part, this volume is almost same surface. Chin, and just like make sure add this volume, and you have this connecting muscle, and lips. Lower lips have two spherical shapes, balls, and kind of connected like this. Inwards, upper lips have a spherical ball, the center, and this is slightly extend till here, smooth it out. I just remove the this thing mark and add all this volume. There's a connecting part, and this we have this by something major. I forgot the name. The electric muscle that connects your lips. I got something. I don't know. I forgot the name. I'm very bad with names. So I can add that. Then there's no this is like basic structure is my basic structure is ready. B and D. I can see this becomes way too curved. So what I'll do, I'll see the best side. I should fly same side if I want. Depending on my reference, I could increase the thin volume. This will fly same side. Then lifts have a lot of details. If I want, I can just control D, subdivided, add details. That's one. To repeat any last command. Right now I'm doing it in symmetry, but usually lifts, all these details are not symmetrical at all. Corners are slight, there's a slight depression.